Hello, once again, Helldivers. Today we're going to be talking about the new weapons from the cutting edge Warbond. These new weapons bring a more futuristic feel with lasers and plasma. Stick around to the end because I'm going to be giving away a free Steam copy of Helldivers 2. The first weapon we will talk about is the first one that is available, the LAS-16 Sickle. This gun functions on a heatsink like the LAS Scythe, meaning that with proper management of the heatsinks, you can effectively have infinite ammo. It can penetrate light armor and does 55 damage per shot, putting it on par with the Liberator. You also have about 9 seconds of straight shooting while holding down the trigger and have 6 spare heat sinks. This makes it so that ammo is virtually never a concern, excluding secondary weapons and support weapons. The Sickle does have a slight spit up time when first shooting it. Simply hold the trigger for maybe half a second or so, and then the weapon will start firing. One of the only potential downsides with this weapon is that it isn't great for close range fighting because of that spin up period. Similar to most guns except for SMGs and shotguns. You can also change the zoom on the gun, but unfortunately it has no other options to mess with during gameplay. This gun has quickly become one of my personal favorites of if I'm fighting against either the bots or the bugs, and I think that this will be one of your favorites as well. And real quick from that, we're going to move from one of the best weapons in the game right now to maybe one of the worst in my eyes, the SG-8P Punisher Plasma. This gun has a lot of issues in my eyes, the main one being the ammo capacity. The gun only has 8 shots until it's empty, and if it did a ton of damage, it might be enough to counteract that low ammo capacity, but unfortunately it doesn't have that going for it. There's not really much I like about this gun at all. Not enough damage, low ammo capacity, and it doesn't have the rounds reload like the other Punisher variants have. That pretty much makes it to where you can only really save ammo by waiting to reload until the magazine is empty, which, hey, at least it won't take that long to get there. That is pretty much my entire review of this weapon. No part of it is honestly enjoyable to me. It's almost like a one-off joke weapon. That's about it. Leaving behind the stink of the Punisher Plasma, we'll move on to the Arc 12 Blitzer. This is sort of like a small version of the arc thrower with a much bigger emphasis on close range fighting. It does have the infinite ammo like the arc thrower does, but instead of having to charge it up, you simply fire and then do a sort of pump animation that takes a little over a second and then can fire again. This weapon is extremely effective against smaller enemies, but anything like a Devastator for the bots or a Charger or really anything with heavier armor, it struggles big time. Ultimately, this weapon, with the infinite ammo and great killing potential of trash enemies, makes this weapon have a niche that it serves extremely well. The final weapon we're going to talk about is the LAS-7 Dagger. This is a weapon that functions exactly the exact same as the LAS Scythe. It fires a beam projectile, operates on a heat sink, so the exact same. The main thing about this weapon is that you can fire it with one hand, letting you be able to run while firing as long as you aren't aiming. The major drawback is that it does exactly half the damage of the Scythe, doing around 150 damage a second versus the 300 a second that the Scythe does. I also have heard from other people that killing anything larger than the smallest bugs with it takes a lot of the heat sink, causing you to either have to reload or switch to another weapon. The major upside with it is it being a beam weapon. The range on it is essentially kind of just infinite. The same thing with the LAS Scythe, it does just kind of go on forever. The last thing that we're going to talk about is the new stun grenades. These are a non-lethal grenade that has a slow and stunning effect similar to any EMS stratagem. These grenades are very useful as they can stop a charger while it is charging at you and can even stun a Bile Titan. The major drawback with these is like using the smoke grenades. They have different applications than the normal grenades, and that means that you can't seal bug holes or blow up bot shops with them. So, if you're playing solo and still want to blow these things up, I think it's better to either use a stratagem that can blow these up for you, or it's just better to keep normal grenades with you. But ultimately, that's it for the weapons and equipment from the Warbond. Thank you guys so much for watching the video up to this point. And now we're going to talk about a Steam giveaway. If we can get this video up to 50 likes, I will be giving away one Steam copy of Helldivers 2 to one subscriber that makes a comment tagging 2 of their friends. So make sure if you aren't subscribed, make sure to do so to not miss your chance on this giveaway. But hey, that's it for the video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Keep diving.